Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to work on an inside page, probably this one, for the little file folder flippy. I'm not exactly sure what I called it now, but we're going to be working. I've got a kind of a cool little idea. You know how everything is paint swatches in this kit, and there's like round ones and such. I'm going to make sort of a slide, a specimen slide. And you know, this little piece right here, I never did know what that was on this one with the birds and the flowers. We're going to use it today. Anyhow, let me get set up for our little mixed media session. And I'm going to show you these. I was telling you about the gatefold card. That was like, I think, my last video. And I was wanting to come up with different ideas for the gatefold. Well, this is one of them. Everybody, I've been seeing, they're doing mass make March Madness, something along those lines. Anyhow, so they're making all these things for mass make. Well, I guess this would be considered my mass making, because I've had to make like 6 of everything for these little simple journals I've been working on. So everybody does a policy closure. There we go. So that's what this is. This little gatefold, I guess it'd still be considered a gatefold. I'm not sure. It's held together with a policy closure. I made hinges here. I didn't really want to cover these flowers up down here, so that, and it's got like a butterfly there. That's kind of why I left the bottom open. And then inside, we have the big tag. I made the pulls on it. Each one's got like a little definition of something. I cleaned up all of those flowers that I had left. And you can write inside. There's like, plenty of room in here to write little notes and things like that. This is something that can be tucked into a pocket, or it can be glued down as a pocket, or it can be glued down to be a double pocket, triple pocket, because actually there's a pocket right here with a little tiny card inside. And I used some of my little snippets, wait a minute, my most favorite thing in the world, which is these curator snippets. Yeah, I think these are the curator snippets, and they're really, really tiny. There was also some field note snippets in here and something else, but these will come in 2 sizes. They come in this little small size, which you can put anywhere, or they'll come in like a larger size, and they're very cool. I'll try to link that if anybody's interested. Here's me. I put a kitty cat. I was just going through my little drawer up here. It's got all these little extras that I've had left over. That's where all these came from. Paper crafting with Miss Tommy gave me that. And then I also like the idea of the tickets, so I continue with that. And I've been working on that daisy pad. That's what I've got here. So yeah, there we go. And I just make these little buttons. I stack 3 or 4 together so they're stronger on the top, and then there's one single one on the bottom, and then I go through with the brad, and then I glue that bottom one down, and it holds them all there. That's the way I do my policy closures. And here's another one where I didn't want to really cover the bottom. I like that blue with that little pop of white hitting it, and it's almost purple inside. So it's got a really loud flower. But I mean, it's got admire. I've just put a few little gewgaws with it. I probably could have inked the outside edges, but I did a little bit of this and that. I cut this flower out for something long ago, never used it. Put me a few little snippets here. And then it's got a little sort of a butterfly there with some writing. So that's how that one turned out. I just wanted to give you some ideas that they don't always have to go with the tag, I guess. Now this is one. It's a gatefold card. So I'm thinking of an old gate or a door from back in the medieval times, where they would put it over the castle door, and they had this big, huge beam that would go through these 2 hooks, and so that's what I was thinking of for this. I had some leftover little fences from like the ones behind here, but it's just 2 little slits that you can slide something through. And I put a little flower and a few more of those little snippets on it. I had a die cut for this. That's where it come from. And it kind of goes with the daisies and stuff that's on here. So that's all this was. And, you know, I made all of these kind of as a right-handed person kind of a deal. So probably most of them are going to go on like the, I don't know, I guess they could go on either side of your page, really, tell you the truth. Oh, I didn't show you what was inside, did I? Naughty me. Okay, here we go. So here's one with a big flower and butterfly, abundant. I had, these are from like the Forest Stamperia pad. So they kind of had already a floral theme to it. I had these birds left over at one point, and I just cut them out of scrap. And then we got this little guy right here. I think it's got a butterfly on it. And it's got a big old flower right behind there. So, yeah, I thought this was kind of a neat idea here. Now, when I put the flower on it, because when it had nothing on the bar itself, it could go right straight out. But after I put the flowers on it, it's almost like you got to go back and forth with it now. I did a double flower there. And then inside we've got this one with the real bright flower. I won't take it out. And then we got that one with a little pink butterfly. And I tried to pick spots. And then it's got a little sticker over here with some of the neater looks to go by there. Now this one, it's got that double on it, so it doesn't slide as far. Plus, I'm out sticking. This is a 5-inch wide. So it's sticking out just a little bit, but you don't want it too much. Okay, now here, I had made these. This is like the gatefolds that I made, but I wanted it to have, I shortened the little holder here so the fence was more visible. And I, instead of putting that brad just into the little brown piece and then gluing it down, I went all the way through and then I cut a little cover so you didn't notice as much. And then on this one, I had one of these little ring fasteners left. And I thought that looked like a little latch on the gate. And then I had this one that says field notes. I couldn't resist putting that on there. It might have a little bulk, but I mean, it'll be something fun. And then inside here, of course, we've got the pretty little top. That green goes with most of this. Had another little bird, a little bit of snippets. And then this little thing that has post on it. Now, this one didn't have like a cattering thing, but it did have the little birdie. And then I had this, and it was green. I did back it on something else, so it was a little stronger. But I didn't like that it was just a big green mass of leaves. Celeste, woodland inspired. Thank you, Celeste. She sent me some of these different dies that she had gotten over time. And I think these may have been doubles that she had. So she was giving me some that I hadn't seen before. And this is a small die of the month. It must be one of those clubs. But it has For You right in the center. And that part I didn't add. But it's got a beautiful little gaity kind of look to it. And I thought, well, you know, that is really pretty. That would look good on the front. And I did take some decorative scissors and do like, it's called a daisy cut, by the way. But it's got a little cut. It goes along the top. And I thought that was perfect. Daisy cut. So there we go. Did I show you the inside of that one? Yeah, I did. Okay. And yeah, this is the sneaky. I haven't been doing sneaky peeks for you guys lately. So I thought, oh, this would be perfect sneak peek. I get to see all kinds of stuff. Now this one, I had just a couple more that said choose happy and something else, but I didn't have any more ring fasteners. So I said, well, let's just go with the gate and some flowers on the front, which is really pretty. I did ink the edges with vintage photo just so they would stand out, because they really just fell in behind when they hit that white fence, because they were white as well. Another one of these. Now with this, you can go ahead and put something else in behind here. Another picture, a little die cut flower, just a word. You could have done anything that you wanted. I still may find something to put there. And then this one, I did the brad situation exactly the same. You have the things hiding where the brad legs came through. I had a few bugs. That's where you saw the butterfly on that other one. But I had a couple bugs and Here's another bird, and this little butterfly access. I don't know. I just picked some words that kind of sounded like they would go with a garden. And then here's a few butterflies on there. And there we go. And this one just has a flat top for the gate, or behind the gate. And there. So that is all she wrote on the different ones. Now I may save all these things I'm making, and we'll put them in together and see where they'll fit in these journals. I've got a few other ideas to do for them, so we'll be doing that. And then we'll have to throw them all together, and then I'll have to take them to the shop. Okay, and I want to thank everyone for coming by to visit and seeing what I was doing today. Now we're going to take that one, and we're going to take the little butterfly here, because I'm making a specimen sort of slide thing. So we're going to take this bird and this little green flower, and what else? 1, 2, 3. I did have this pink flower already picked out, so he may do good, because I already got him fussy cut and everything. And then I'll save the rest of these for the other pages. Yeah. Okay. So let me put these to the side. I can fussy cut them later. So what I want to do is, like I said, this one is going to be my color for the one section. Now this is from my watercolor pad that I always use to do mixed media with. And it's about the same size. I just need to be a little bit smaller. But it's got a nice strong, you know, texture to it. I'm needing to do... I need to do like a cover paper for it first. Let me pick one of those out. Alright, here's all my little goodies for this. And I've got a few... I got some tags in here as well, and I wondered about them. Most of these things that are on top, maybe that tag is going to be used. Okay. I needed background paper, which some of this down here has already been cut upon. And that may be nice right there, because it's sort of on the light side. Although that might not be bad either. So we'll pull those two out and see what we can see here. So I'm going to cut this down just a little bit, so I know what size I'm working with. And like I said, and this is the upper side here is the one I trimmed. Oh, there we go. So now it should be about right. All right, now the width of it, I don't want it to be too wide. Doesn't need to be 3 inches. Now, this is the punch I'm going to use. It's a 2-inch punch that I got from, I think, Hobby Lobby. So 3 inches, I think, would do the trick for me. So that can go back over there. And this is going to... It's going to have... I'm trying to figure out how to do this. All right, I cut out this 2-inch round from the little punch there. And I'm trying to see how much room I've got. Because it's going to be something like that. And then, can I get 4 on there, or is it only 3? I was thinking I could get 4. But... beggars can't be choosers, right? Yeah, it's only going to be 3. And then I'm really close to the edge there, so... Alright, so one of those flowers or butterflies... Probably this flower will just be left out. So, let's just go ahead and hit the middle, where it visually looks like it's the middle. Because I don't want to take away too much from the end, so I have the strength, you know, there. Oh, and it moved on me. Okay. I'm just putting circles here so I know where to put my watercolor. We're just going to be done with these 3 colors here. I'm really hoping old paper stands up for me, because I don't know how dry he is. Now it also looks like I could cut that down a little bit more, but I don't know about that. All right, let's put a little bit of water. And that's true, I was going to make one of these the center. I do need to add a little bit, so maybe old paper will add a little bit extra to the round part there. Let me grab a brush. This one ought to do it. And then let me put a little bit of water out here. Let me put a little bit of ink out here first. Let's do the old paper and see what she's got to give me. Oh, it looks a little juicy. And put a little bit of water there. And see what we got. It's got very, very pale. It's very pale. It's a pretty color. It's just, you don't get much out of it. See how pale it is? I guess it's holding up to its name of old paper. I'm going to try doing this without dipping it. There, got a little bit more color that way. But it's just going to be covering the outline of what that's not going to hold. Now, I love this blue. Let's put a little bit of, if it mixes together a little bit, I don't think I'm going to be too sad about it. But I'm just trying to do some backgrounds to get some color behind these little critters. And it doesn't have to be smooth. It could look rough, kind of like this little guy here. So I can come back in and maybe put a little bit more on the outside edge. Make it a little darker. Did I put enough down? You can also do this if you got the sprays. You just spray your color down on here and go to town with it. Okay, now let's see what this green color get. Oh yeah, the green is stepping up for them. Okay. Oh, that is very, very green. Yeah, let's thin it out a little bit. Thin it out. Okay, now I'm going to cover the top of this with something else, and I'm really wanting to put a little bit of extra to kind of combine them a little bit. There we go. So I put a little bit of that green down into here, and we can see if we could get a little bit of that blue up into here. I don't know if it's happening, to kind of give it the idea that it's, yeah, like that, kind of blended, and they're sisters of another mister, or whatever that phrase is. I swear. Oh. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, that gave it a little bit of personality. Yeah. And then maybe a little bit of that in here because of it needing something besides that old paper. I don't know how he comes up with the names for all these things. Okay, so there we go. I don't know about it. I don't know about this one. Let me blend it a little better. It's not making me happy. There, it was better. And then this one. Yeah. Okay. Now we're good. Now we're good. Now I'm going to clean this up. Let this dry a little bit. And then I got to cut these out and all these other little goodies here to go on here. Okay, before I get done, I'm going to hit some vintage photo oxide with a little bit of water, and I'm going to splatter. I want this to look a little old. So we're going to see what we can do here. See if I got enough water. And what do you do? Like that? I don't know if I got enough water. Oh. It is giving me a little bit. It's getting little tiny flecks. I think everybody's got a certain type of brush that they like to use for this. This is just one of the methods that I have seen. All right, I think that'll work it for me. This is kind of what we came up with. See the little tiny speckles in there? Yeah. That's what we got. Okay, I've got those cut out. And I'm going to take this little piece here and put that down because we're going to do a little extra zhuzh to this background. But if I didn't mention it before, this is Tracie Fox Creatives. Beautiful kit. Renew 2026. And it's just beautiful. I love it. Love all the swatches. All the different things you can do with it. It's given me inspiration to do my own kind of swatchiness. I haven't got to Walmart. Otherwise, I'd be probably shopping in the paint department and pulling me out some of the paint chips that you get for free and doing my own kind of swatchiness. Now, this is called Mosaic THS 084. I just love it. It reminds me of the old, you know, things you see in ancient times where they do the tile work and the bathhouses and the pool areas and all that kind of thing. Now, this is the teal one. And I was looking at it, and it's like it's not really holding... Did that just come off? No, that's okay. It's not really holding the teal. I even went over a little bit more with something, and it's just not holding it. So I want to enhance that just a bit. I don't know if I've got the oxide or the ink on this color sponger, but I'm not going to be rubbing it too hard. I just want a little bit of an impression to come over. That wasn't much of an impression. Let's rub it real good right there. Maybe rub it right there. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. It's less of a swatch now. More of a color stencil. But that's all right. I wanted something a little different. I can also spray that. I might just do that and see what I end up getting. I'm trying to get that circle right in the middle of that little pencil line that I've used there. And let's see what... Oh, yeah. There, we going there. I think I'm going to do something different with this one, coming from the side. Yeah, something different. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do with that. And now we're going to, like, put our little goodies on it. And, like I said, we got a birdie. I got my glue right here. I've got 2 green elements and a pink one. So the pink is going to go in the middle. Just because. I'm not really going to put any acetate over this, though you could. I don't think I feel like it. I don't feel like it's necessary. Now, I shouldn't have thought to make it too busy. Otherwise, your little focal points here wouldn't stand out as well. But I'm kind of telling the story. I should have cut out all the other pieces and showed you, but we will do that in just a second after I glue on the little guys here to show what it is about. Been busy. Again, didn't get my video done for today because I had therapy, and then Mom had wound clinic, and then I had to run and get her stuff. And it's just, yeah. Oh, that's perfect one for that little bird. I had thought to put him on something, but that's all right. He's sort of a specimen. All right, here's Our Lady. She is going to be on the back, on the main page, on the base. And she is glancing out the window at the beautiful parkland and trees and everything, as you can see. And she's dreaming about going out there. And then we have a tag. And I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to put her on the tag. At first, I thought I was going to make this see-through, and you could see around the little critters, but that changed over time. And then I've got this lady here that's decorating her flowers. That's kind of the theme, you know, floral, the flower colors and all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to see if we can work her in. She may actually go on the tag. And what was I going to do on this page? Oh, I think it's the, I needed a stopper for the bottom. And I put this on a little bit of a lightweight cardstock. So this is going to be on the bottom of the page to stop the tag. I don't know if you've ever had to worry about that before. And then I think, what was this going to be? I can't remember if it was this one or that one. That was going to be the background. And I'm thinking it's going to be this light green one. I'm going to use a little bit of the background of one of these. This lighter one is actually going on here. I've made this busy now because of the mosaics stenciling. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to use that. So let me snip that off. But yeah, and I've got this little piece still floating around, and I got a little flower here floating around. But I think that's how I'm going to go about it. So we're going to set that over here. Now we've got to finish this off. This has to be a flippy. That's what it's going to end up being. Now what I need to do first is to make... did I throw that circle away? I did. I need to make this have the little... I'm wondering if I could wrap that around the whole element is what I'm kind of eyeballing, and I think I can. And then I'll have maybe the little flowers and stuff. Which set of flowers would be better on the back? I don't know. Okay, let me ponderize this and see if I can get this in exactly the same spot. I need to be over, though, a little bit. Let's go ahead and fold it in half. This was just a scrap that I had left over from one of those cover pages that I was messing with. I got that a little crooked. Okay. There. Let's see, that's just about enough to give me a little bit to glue down to flippy flap. And I may even put a little bit of washi tape on it. You know how it is. So, which side do I want to flip? Do I want to flip out this way? Probably so. So, this is the front. That's what, you have to figure out which side is going to be your front. So, whatever you're doing will work. Okay, so let's go ahead and start doing it. And this has about of 1/4 of an inch, I guess. Now I can always trim this. Actually, I think I am. I'm going to actually trim this down just a wee bit. If I had the holes cut out, it would be so much easier. And, yeah, just don't have that part done. And then, down here, I'm trying to gauge how much distance I have in between each one of these little guys. And I think that needs to be closer. Okay. Ooh. Don't worry, it's trash. And, oh, I'm going to cut that cute little flower out. Rats. Now, this does not fit. Okay, so I got a feeling we are just going to be cutting it. I think it'll reach from the other side. If I need to trim back a little, I can. Now let's see. Just almost there. But I need to, give myself a little bit more to squish through because it's not thick enough. This is just really thin paper that I put it on regular copy paper. Oh, man. All right, that first one was a bit of a pain to get out. So I went over and got regular copy paper to finish this off. And thinking I can do something pretty with this little piece if it turns out all right. Yeah, that's kind of cute. All right, let me get in here and erase. And that piece of paper my cat's been chewing on. Domino, she's got the chewing fetish. So we need to erase just a little bit of these pencil marks and hope this is in the right place. We will look for that as soon as I get this part done. All right. Let's see if we made it. I've got a whole lot out to the right ear. It's not making it, but that's all right. I think it's going to be fine. It will be fine. All right. Now I want to actually ink with some vintage photo inside. And we're going to take this piece and it's going to make the back side. But right now we want to kind of decorate our edge. So I'm going to do this all the way around for each one of these and give it a little bit of framing character. Okay, I have this little stamp pad. I think I showed it to you the other day. Hip Stamp Hooray. I got it at Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure. There's the number 34010-897. I don't know how old this is, but we're going to do a little stamping, and I kind of like this affection. I mentioned the other day I was going to do a few things with it, and I've got another little project for the simple journals that I'm going to do with this as well. Now, I really love this upper one, but I'm wanting to try to catch the word affection, like right in here somewhere where you can read it. I don't want it to be on an upper side. I want it to be more lower. So I'm going to try to do it with vintage photo and see if I get lucky. I don't know. I'm going to stamp it off on this paper. This is the back side of that other background paper. See, I don't want it too dark, so that might be just perfect. I just want it to be enough that you can read it, and it's like a feminine kind of vibe going on here, you know. And so we're going to kind of do it like that. Yeah, and see, once you pull this away, you've only got that little bit showing, but we're going to go ahead and see if we can play with the word in a few other spots, giving it a little bit more character. Maybe down in here, we'll give it a little bit of stuff on this corner. And then up here at the top, maybe a little bit for that corner. Yeah, just something. I just need a little something. And then I can stamp that off. That one I got really nice and dark right there. Okay. All right, so let's see if we can get this thing together. We're going to go up this side and then kind of go around the edge of these because I don't know how far over I need to put my glue for this part. And then it's going to go all the way over for these. So I'm going to meet back halfway and kind of go around there like that. Okay. So let's see if we can get it right in the middle. bet you're all hollering at me. That is backward, upside down. I'm thinking, why does affection look like that? Oh, no. Almost bit it. That's why I wanted affection down here, because I didn't know how much was going to hang up there. And like I said, I can always trim this off, which that's happening right now. And we also need to do a little bit of something over here on the bendy part right in here. I want to put a little bit of washi. All right, I got this crazy thing. I don't know, it was in a pack. I've used it with my phone journal because it looks like the cord of a phone. That's about the only times that I've really used it. But this has a really good hold ability to it. And I'm just going to put a little extra glue down here. And then these have this paper backing you have to peel off. I'm not sure if I got this at Walmart. I probably got it at Walmart at one point in time. Okay. I'm trying to get it booted right up beside the one piece there. And we're going to push it down. And then it's going to get trimmed, because this is as tall as I want to make it. Okay, and then we're going to put the, if I get it to unstick from my finger, and then we're going to stick this to the other side. Oh, how pretty. Look how pretty that is. Okay, this one goes on this side. So I guess my best bet is just to put the glue on this. Sometimes when you don't know, oh gosh, I think I've left my nose out too long, but sometimes when you don't know how big the paper is going to stretch for you, you can like actually glue the place that you're sending it to. That is, yeah, that's the cost of leaving your nose out and playing with something too long and not paying attention. You get your glue stopped. See, it's already done it again. Should have used some fabric tack. Alright. Well, guess what? We're going to fabric tack, because this is not playing nice with me and I'm getting frustrated. Alright, let's just put some fabric tack on here. I have a little bit on the outside edges, so I'm good. It's just the inside I want to definitely have it stretch to. All right, let's stick it on something like that. This is the front, the top. Yeah, okay. So I want to make sure I get my little flowers in there. They're so cute. You did such a good job with this kit. I just love it. I guess it has a little bit of meaning to me because I did art, you know. I've always been in art. I mean, it's like, it's in my blood. So I've had art all through school, high school. I had it in elementary school even. We had different little projects that we would do then. I remember making a clay horse one time. And then I know I did some stuff even when I was in my surgery days, when I was over at UVA, which is University of Virginia. I was there at Easter. It's almost that time of year, guys. April 5th. But yeah, we had like an Easter egg we had to decorate. And so, of course, I'm stuck in that, chained to that striker frame, which only went over every 12 hours. So I had to wait until they flipped me before I could actually get in there and work on anything. And where I was, you know, face down. Then I think I could do things when I was face up. It's just, that's usually when I would read. But if I wasn't wanted to draw and stuff like that, I would wait till they flipped me onto my face. And that's when I would do any kind of artwork, concentrating on things. I'm just going to kind of trim this little bit of the washi down. I need to get some more washi. I'm kind of down to the uglies. And you know, if you have the uglies going on, it might be that you might want to just stick them on a master board and then cover them with something. I'm trying to see if this is about... It looks like it's even. It's a little off right here. Just a little bit. That's making me unhappy. So let's see if I can strong arm it and do that. Okay. Now, we're going to hit with some more vintage photo. I might bring it out here and load it again. I really like that look of the vintage photo on there. Well, of course, it goes with the outside edging of the holes that I did. And I'm thinking the back side can be used as a writing space here. And I don't know that it needs any ink here, but I'm going to kind of slide it around along that crease that I've made. The other one, no, I don't need it there. So, now, let's get to it. Do I need to show this? Okay, let me show it to you. I never show you stuff. I'm bad about sharing. Okay, so that's what my little specimen swatch slide. Maybe that's what I'll call it. So, let's get in here and see how we want the rest of it to work out. So, this little guy... Remember, I went in here and I put some glue and stuff for the washi, but it's still trying to come up on me. So it's going to be one of those little projects. I guess I put so much water, you know, on here. Oh, no, it's not going to work. That kind of thing. Let's get in here and wipe it down. There we go. I'm also going to be covering up those two little bread pieces from the label on the front. Okay, is this what I want as my background? I'm thinking it is. Now that's a little on the dark side. It does go with the colors in that. And let's see. Then I did talk about putting that back there, didn't I? But I do need something else because it's not quite big enough. So... yeah, I think that would work. And see, that's got that little bit of resemblance to each other that I think that will work. All right, where's the pencil? We're going to go ahead and see if we can make this our back. And I'll cut that down. Where's the cutter? I done put it away. Where did I make that mark? Right there. Okay. Yeah, I was busy today. Had to take or go with Mom for her follow-up checkup with Dr. Greenwell's office, but he didn't even come in. Some other doctor come in. So, oh well. All to the good. But they just wanted to take the stitches out and check her. She's doing good. There. So all that worked out. And I'll put that behind me. All right. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to actually roll this together. Trying to find a place to set this. Now, is that this one? There. Wanted to do my corners. Although I think that's upside down. I don't think it's going to matter, though, with everything I'm going to be putting on here. I don't think it matters that it's upside down. So let's go ahead and do this. See if it'll cooperate. No, it's not. Wow, you can just sit in the corner. You're getting put in the corner. Time out for you. All right. And then I had to go and get my pulse oxygen monitor again. Remember I told you the last time I wore it, I must have pulled it off my finger or something through the night because it didn't read but 2 hours. I said, oh man, I said, it was one of the best sleeps I've had all week. And it only read 2 hours, and it has to be at least 4. So we had to get it scheduled for me to wear it again. I guess I'll be wearing it this weekend. I got a bead, a pretty little bead on this side that Chestita gave me, and I'm rubbing across that. Oh, let me get that little bit of fabric tack. That's the only bad thing. Fabric tack leaks out and it goes everywhere, but boy, it will dry in no time. Okay, this lady is going to go against the little writing thing I got here. I figured that would be kind of cute maybe on the back side. Maybe I'll rip it and make it more interesting. Instead of just putting it all on the back. Alright, let me cut it first. Should have had all this stuff cut out for you. Some people like to see cutting though. They have those ASMR, that stands for something. But there's a lot of shorts and videos where people love to hear or see, or, you know, those noises. It might not be too bad as a whole piece, but I could rip the edge a little bit just to make it kind of old looking, and we can ink it. Right, Phyllis? We can ink it. Okay. She's probably saying, yes, yes, to the ink. Alright, I'm going to go Vintage Photo. I'm mostly going with that for this, but it's just going to give it a burnt edge look. I don't even know if I'm going to ink that edge. That's a flat edge that's going against this over here. There. Maybe this lady is sitting there and pining for her lost loved one, or her man that's went off to sea, or he's working in the woods today. We're wondering what she's doing. Alright, so she's on top of that. This is kind of, it was the thinner cardstock that I had, so I didn't want it to take up too much space, you know, or bulk. And so I am going to have to go over the back with some Vintage Photo because I did not actually do anything to the back side of this. But it's going to be written on. That's my thing. If I'm making a journal, it's got to be useful. It's got to have a meaning and all that kind of good stuff. So that's why I'm always saying it needs to have a journal. Even if somebody just gets this and looks at it and never touches a pen to it, in my mind, I have to make it where it's usable. Now I'm thinking of putting her, she needs a frame. She definitely needs a frame. I probably need to ink the outside edge of that anyway. Alright, so I did have this little thing. Well, I've got this that's going down here. Actually, that could go up a little higher. And then this little bit could go down here. That's to hold the tag in. Oh, and you know what? I was supposed to be gluing this under this edge here. Oh my gosh. Is it still able to be pulled up? Probably not. Oh. you know me. I'm not going to pay attention to anything, and I just jump the gun. Let me see if I can do some sweet talking to this thing. Oh, yeah. This one little area right here is giving me a bit of grief. But I think the rest of it said it would take the bribe. Okay. And if it gets a little roughy, kind of wrinkly, rippy, all to the good, because that gives it that kind of look. All right, let's get in here with this poor little guy first. Do I have enough room for him? He's got sort of a big thing to tuck under there. Let's see if I need a little bit more room. Yeah, I think it needed a little bit more juice. All right, let's try it again. Yep, looking good, looking good. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick the glue. I bet y'all were hollering at me about that too. Rhoda just ain't got it going anymore. All right, like that. And we're going to stick that in here, and hopefully it will help attach the top and the bottom, and I don't have to hit anywhere else with the glue. Now I can always get in here with my little guy, the little needle nose, when he wants to come out of a timeout, and we can get under some of these spots that may not have gotten all of the glue. Okay. And if you hit this fabric tack right away with a rag or something, it usually will roll right up and go away. Yeah, it doesn't like aggression. Whoops, I'm probably going to use that again, aren't I? Okay, let me get to doing this. And you don't want anything in this crack here, glue-wise, either, until it's all dry. Yeah, that's got to go down. And I'm going to try to stay away from the edge. Away from the edge, Rhoda. So I don't get the glue so close it ekes out. Okay, that piece was going to go kind of up here. I am going to leave that little dark edge. I like that. Okay. Hardine. That's garden, I believe. So, perfect. I don't think she needs anything around her. I think she's good. Let's go ahead and put her down. Okay. And, oh, I'll go down to here. And then it's talking about plants right there. So I did cover up garden. Shame on me. Okay. Let's go ahead while we're at it and see what we want to do with this one. Let me see. I've got this one left. I got two things to cut out, and I'll be right back. All right. I inked the back side of this, which that's where the lady's going. And I've cut this out. And I'm going to ink the outside edge of this. And I think it's got a motif of an ivy or some kind of other plant. Almost look like catnip on it. So I was going to go and play with the idea that that's ivy and put something else down here. Now, let's see. This is going to go under the stopper, which we will put the stopper right side up. And it's just going to have glue kind of like right there. I'm going to put about 3/4 of an inch, kind of a glue spot there. And it's kind of going to be here. And it's going to be kind of layered. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So we'll mostly put that over here on this side. I'm leaving a little touch of it down here at the bottom where you can see underneath. And then let's see what we want to do with this lady here. Yeah, we got that. It's kind of like off center. I don't like that it looks off center there, so we're moving it over a bit. Okay. Which I can push down there a little better. All right, let's put this lady on the front of her card. And so talk about putting a little bit of a frame around her. I think we did. Okay. I'm liking the back side of this Mente Papers Art Journal Grungy Ephemera. I mean, that's one of the colors that's in this kit, and I think it works out pretty good. So we're going to glue her down to that, and then we're going to cut her out. I think that works perfectly. And it was just some trash that I was going to be throwing out. Well, actually you wouldn't, because that's just too pretty. I like that background. Anything grungy. Doesn't need to be a big frame, just enough to pop her off of that back page is basically what we're doing. So then we're going to cut it the same width on this side. And the same width at the bottom. There. Let me get this out of the way. Without it going everywhere. Well, that came in to save the day. I got a little bit of a hoopla there. Alright, now, I don't know, but I may just kind of put a little bit of this scorched timber right on the edge to pop her out just a tad more. Alright, so that's going there. Yeah, if you have packaging, there's a lot of videos where people use their packaging and do so many different things with them. Alright. Let's see what we got here. I think she's going to be right under the paper clip. And then I have this. Oops, that's to go right under her. Oopsie. And hopefully I didn't add too much. I see it squeezing out the one side here. But this kind of fills up our whole tag. We got room on the back for writing. Let me see if I can get this straight. That's the other thing that's great with fabric tack. If you can deal with all of its little foibles, you've got so much time to change it, like a minute or two. Ooh. And then it will set. And it's usually for fabric, you know, but you can use it for paper and quite a few elements. I think I've used it on my, it's not good on vellum. It likes to make that vellum roll. But yeah, I didn't know, I thought I was going to do a little, got some fabric tack or something right there. A little bit of stamping on this. So let me grab a little square paper for my precious bin there. And we're going to see about doing some of this stamping from the Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous. It's Field Notes, CMS 396. Whoops. Some of my stuff's wanting to jump out. Now we have Collect, which is sort of what she's doing. Collecting. But I kind of like the idea of this identification check. Because she's looking down in there, checking it out. So let's see what I can do with that. And we're going to use our vintage photo. I mean, VersaFine Onyx Black Pigment Ink. We're going to use that. And I will see if I can find where this is. Some of these items that I've been using, I will try to link in my description box. So if anybody would like to try to get them, it helps me out just a tiny bit. I've made a few cents from it so far. But it's kind of fun, you know. Some of these things I use, oh, they're gone. They're dead and gone. But other things that I've used are still around. I always like to do a circle. So let's go ahead and do a little received circle. Probably down here or at the top. Let's see about top up here. Got that paper clip on that one side, so it kind of takes care of a little bit in that corner. And I don't know, but I may put a little, that's where the affection is. Let me see about putting one of these little guys, a little light version of it, kind of right here, and that kind of plays with the circle. Well, it's not very readable, but it's not very readable. But we may put us a number there too. What about one of these numbers? Okay, let's try that. I'm gonna go with scorched timber on this one. Let's see if I get any little butter cooperation. Well, I would accept that bead on that front. It's kind of rolling with me. Okay, and what do we want to do next? That may be it. I got a little figure 1 and 2. That. Let's go ahead and go with that. Little figure 1 and 2. It's not much to it. Oh! It looks like that, but try not to make a mess. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that works for me. Now let me see if I can clean this up. Okay, we're going to tuck her in where she goes. I think everything's dry. And it's kind of neat because that lady shows. And then when you put her in here, she's going to show. And I hope that's dry down there. It should be. Now, I want something to hold that shut. Now, I didn't go with the vine, but I don't think I need it. I was talking about putting a little die-cut vine on there, but I think we could do without. Now, I've got this little Velcro crafting thin dots. They're very small. They're very clear. It's hard to see them at all. I'm going to put the clear dot, like right down there. And you're not going to see that little booger at all. You can't see it. And then I'm going to put this one on top. I might need to put me some glue. I forgot about that. A little touch of glue. Let's see if he wants to come out of the corner yet. Oh, he gave me a little glue. All right. Good for you. And then I'm going to lay this down and grab it. And see, it'll hold it shut for me. Okay, and you get 50 of these in here. These are 3/8 inch, and they're like perfect for little flip outs and stuff like this. But I will find the link. I got those at Walmart, but I'll see what will come up for me in my description box for an affiliate link. All right, and then yeah, see, you just take that off. You don't see that at all. And then you've got that little one over here, and he kind of hides. I had a little bit of that glue coming out. But yeah, see, here we go. We can, you know, pull that out. You can do a little bit of writing. I think that's on there. And then you have this little lady that comes out, and you can write on the back of her card. So that works for me there. I do need to come up with a piece of something to go here. And I'll just leave it to the end where I have scraps left. And I'll do it then. But I really love how that turned out. It turned out so cute. And you can see the lady over here working. All right. Well, I thank everyone. Thank you so much for coming by and visiting and seeing what I had to do today. Hope it wasn't too long. Didn't realize it was going to be this long. But then again, you never know. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.